start. You're live.
Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Tree board meeting for the City of Harvard at 6:32 p.m. We do have a quorum. Janet Hugg, who I almost just called Joel Kriete. It's the name tag in front of you.
Really?
I'm sorry.
I had
Jay
to work
Wolf.
on my makeup or
Yeah.
something.
Jay Wolf, Shawn Kingzette, and myself, Lisa Haderlein. Okay. No one's attending electronically. Item number 4 on the agenda is public comment, and there is no public, so we can skip that. Number 5, approve minutes of August 6th. Or actually looks like of July 2nd. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't meet in August.
No, he sent out an update. That's it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so it is, July 2nd minutes. Did folks have a chance to read those? It was a very full meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll motion to approve them. I'll motion to approve them if you're ready. I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 6, discussion approval of Oaktober planting dates, details, and volunteers.
So, this is for the ComEd Green Region Grant for Lions Park. We did get the award. Now they're really looking for dates, times, locations. They're going to want an aerial map and a layout of everything that's been done. And we're going to have to establish everything that goes about that, what our match is going to be, and when we're going to have the event. So this is, possibly one of 3 planting events, because we have the one this weekend, then we have another, the replanting grant for the tree removals. So this one we have as well. Now, I think when I was looking at the grantee stuff this afternoon, we do have 18 months from the time of award to spend these funds. So I wanted to just make the tree board aware of that, so that if there was a thought to kind of space these out, so that way we can spread them out throughout the year rather than try to get them all done before the fall or before winter, that would be an option. And I could reach back out to Open Lands and see if they'd be amendable to that, if that's something that the board decides. Other than that, it's just picking a date if we want to do it this fall.
So how many, can you remind us how many trees?
So
we're
this one,
planting?
I have it in the agenda supplement. It's 15 oak
15.
trees total. So this
Okay.
one's not, crazy excessive.
Yeah.
This will be just, this was 5 white, 5 burr, and 5 swamp white.
Okay.
What diameter?
15,
I forget what the, let's see here.
Tentacle and Lions Park. Is that what he said?
Lisa, do you remember what caliper the trees were? I know you said this was $300 per tree based on the trees. So like, probably similar ball and burlap to the side, because you
Right.
referenced the fall planting event in 2024.
Right, so I think they would be like normal,
2-3 inch,
yeah,
2.
yeah, 2 inch, 1.5 to 2 inch, like a tree that you'd plant in the parkway.
Yeah.
Size, right?
Item 26, at the very bottom of the page here where it carries over. Two.
Our number 37
starting to get
says
confused with all
15
these
oak trees,
grants
5
and
oak, 5
trees
bur
and-
oak,
Yeah.
Which ones
5
went
swamp
to
oak.
which place?
Expected per
Which
tree
ones
cost
were
is
we
300
canvassing
based on trees
for?
that were purchased for the
Trees
planting
forever.
event in fall 2024.
Yeah, so trees comparable
Yeah.
in size to those.
Well, that was comparable to fall 2024.
Oh,
That was based upon
yeah, 'cause we're
the fall,
2025.
yeah, that was based upon the fall.
So essentially,
Yeah.
a $300 size tree.
Yeah,
That's going to be a big tree.
yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any equipment available? Any augers or?
We could do the same, so because this, the one this weekend is sort of community driven, it needs to be done by
Yeah.
the volunteers.
People digging holes, yes.
Yeah, I think this one we could probably do similar to, assuming that it's dry enough, I can get the equipment back there. We could do something similar to Mary's Park where Public Works pre-prepares the holes and it's kind of a drop and go. I think what was that, 4 hours we were there that day, 3 hours?
4-ish?
Yeah.
I think it was 4-ish.
Maybe like
Because-
9 to 1 or something like that,
How many trees did we plant that day, though?
like 15 or 16.
16,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it depends a lot on, if it is 3-inch trees versus 2-inch trees,
Mhm.
like a 400-pound root ball versus 150-pound root ball, like whether we
Big
can
difference.
take this project on.
Yeah.
But if the holes are pre-dug and we had a piece of equipment to get the.
Yeah,
Tree in the hole.
per interim administrator Deb, we will, like on the event this weekend, we will have a public works staff member there, just in case we have to, for the tree planting events, in case we have to use a skid steer or in case we have to get a piece of equipment or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
And just because the budget was 300 per tree, I mean, they don't have to be,
Monster trees.
yeah, monster trees,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Fine with all projects.
okay, and the
But
only
it's
thing.
actually 4 too, because remember, we also talked about like a little fall pruning thing in November at the orchard.
Yeah,
that's right.
So that is a lot of activity might
Yeah.
be good just to keep momentum going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't care either way.
Yeah,
so that said, we can do it. These all have to be volunteer-driven tree planting events that get advertised, so I know
Yeah.
we're pretty tight on time, so.
So
Yeah.
are you kind of hoping that we
So-
don't take on all 3 this season and push one of them off to next year?
What's a good time period in the spring to plant?
April, May, as trees become available.
And I can check that, the only thing is that, with Public Works wrapping up for the end of the year, if there is any maintenance or aftercare that has to be taken for the trees, it's tough to sneak this in. Obviously, we have another agenda item to discuss tonight.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we have time and capacity to do all these things, and it's as directed. If this is the desire of the tree board and the administration, then we will make it work. I just want to be
A
transparent.
Side comment, and that helps dictate things a little bit, is oaks are better spring dug. So you can, oaks can be dug in the fall,
Sure.
but in general, the preferred dig season for most oak trees is spring.
Okay.
So if we
Yeah.
maybe push this.
And I can confirm, per the grant terms, most of these, most Trees Forever are Trees Forever, and I'm certain Open Lands too. If we just, it's like one of those things where if you just communicate what you want to do, they're going to be pretty open to it.
Yeah.
And I can confirm that if that is the decision of the board to do that.
My concern with it being volunteer driven and having so many projects in October is, first of all, when we tried to advertise for the free trees, we didn't get a lot of takers when we advertised online. We had to
Right.
get out there, boots on the ground, to do
Yeah.
it. And so with this being volunteer driven, I think if we just try to do it online, we're not going to get a whole bunch of volunteers at this shorter notice and for multiple events.
Yeah.
So it'll be this crew doing it all.
Yeah.
Right, it'll
right.
be like the last.
Like the last
tree-
time, right.
Food forest.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if we do it like
So if I understand,
early
But
May.
if the
There's
holes
three
are gonna be
projects.
dug, that'll help
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
There's
That
there's
was
three
a- that was a
projects.
chore.
One is this Saturday for Open Land.
One is this Saturday,
Then there's Trees Forever,
the Trees Forever replanting grant.
and then there's the ComEd.
Correct.
And the 15, this one we're talking about right now is
Is-
the 15 oaks.
Yep.
Equivalent to $300 per tree.
At Lions Park.
at
Behind
Lions
those,
Park.
basically what, behind the library, Lisa?
Yeah, like on the, what would that be, west side of the path, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the path,
And it would be completed in
the path should be done in the next week or two.
Okay.
Should.
should.
But, yeah, first, I mean, so this would all be behind the library, west of the path, and where the street used to be, where
Kind of, yeah, maybe a
that
little,
general area.
maybe, yeah, a little north of that, but yeah, in that area, yeah. So that it's sort of bringing the oak woods, across the
Denning
path.
Savannah,
Yeah,
the concept of
right.
bringing the oaks back.
Yeah, and then having an area then that would be, wouldn't be mowed. It would be then seeded with low-growing native grass mix. Yeah, just
So March would be a good time to do the oaks?
May, beginning of May.
Oh, May.
It's dependent on when the nurseries
When
start
they
digging
pull 'em.
trees is dependent on
Oh, I
weather
see.
conditions.
Okay,
And so there's a little bit of variability there.
okay.
But if it's an advantage to waiting because then we can select the trees in the winter months, pick our trees out and
Oh.
then
Okay.
have them ready.
Okay.
We're talking here, right?
That'd be cool.
And we pick the nursery or whatever, or?
So I haven't
How's
gotten
that?
details, the only thing so I haven't got details from Open Lands in regards to the Green Region Grant. I know when it comes to Trees Forever, it used to be pick whatever nursery you want and roll with it, but I think people are taking advantage of it and giving, nurseries maybe either favoritism or picking the same nurseries each time. So for the replanting grant, which we'll talk about next, they basically said like you need to get quotes from at least 2 vendors. So, yeah.
But so for the ComEd one,
I don't have a stipulation that I'm
That you
aware
know
of.
of.
Yeah.
so do that one as a spring event?
Sure.
Now, we haven't even talked about our spring plan yet, right?
No.
So might as well
Yeah.
make this our spring plan.
And I'll confirm
works.
and reach
How
out.
about item 6 on the agenda? That's going to be spring now?
Yes.
Okay.
The ComEd,
Yeah.
Yeah, so item 6 is the ComEd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
grant.
The 15 oak trees.
Correct.
That would be spring now.
And I'll reach out to Open Lands and confirm that that's something that we can do, and I will update
Yeah.
this committee.
Sure. I'd suggest
All
May
mixed up with
2nd.
these open lands and this. Isn't open lands the number 7 thing?
It is
we want to
both.
get a
It
date
is both?
started.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think it could be any time in May, but
Did you say the second?
May 2nd?
Is that a
For the
Saturday?
planting?
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
It's getting,
At 9 AM, kind of
it's
like we
getting
did before.
confusing.
It is. I'm totally in the weeds here.
Uh-oh. We did the other one, didn't we do the other one at 10?
We can do that.
Any preference of where the trees come from?
I don't think so. I think one of the things that Lisa talked about in the submittal was that, I think in here you said that we plan on 15 trees, but we might end up with more because there was a tree for tree in kind the last time we had an event like
Right.
this.
Right.
Can I ask?
Yes. So at the bottom of the description of the project, you have, the planting may include more than 15 trees depending upon whether or not the nursery will donate some. And then talking about in 2024, how the city planned to purchase 8, and they ended up with a
Donated
match.
8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this also a match?
This is, for this grant, we have a match of $25.75,
Okay, so then the question,
$25.25.
if we're doing it in May, are we running this out of the Public Works tree budget, or are we using leftover funds that we received almost 2 years ago now, that I'm still holding in the welfare fund?
The welfare fund, the replacement trees for Mary's Park need to come out of that welfare fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll budget for, we'll make sure we budget for the match for this out of the city fund then?
Yeah, and
That'd be in the new fiscal year.
Yes.
So,
2750?
27 or 25.25. But that can be labor, staff time,
Right.
materials, equipment, machine
Okay.
rental. So you
Right.
could eat that up pretty quickly with,
Yeah.
having a Vacant on site digging holes. and-
Sure.
Yeah, and the mulch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sourcing the trees, the only comment would just be a local, for oak trees, I think a local nursery is better.
Yeah.
Harvard
That's been
Nursery or
growing.
Curtis.
Well, actually, Gertis is not,
No, they're a wholesaler. So.
there's wholesalers, so they're bringing their trees from abroad. And I have no problems
Yeah.
with Gertis, but with oak trees specifically, I think there's a little bit of a benefit of.
Yeah.
So that would be like Goodmark or Harvard, maybe.
Okay.
I don't think it matters that much. And then locally sourced is even better. So then you're probably talking Glacier Oaks.
They just closed.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auction.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Majestic Oaks.
Majestic Oaks, that's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
Majestic Oaks in Spring Grove.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how large they go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they like to do container.
I think it's
Yeah, but-
fine to go
Yeah.
from Harvard or.
Yeah.
Goodmark. Next item?
So
Set.
just to
Anything
recap,
else?
May 2nd, 10 a.m.
Sure.
Okay.
Rob, do you want to tag the trees? Do you want to go to the nursery and tag or
Yeah, we can do that similar to what we did for
for Gertis?
Gertis. I can reach out and see who's got them. We can get them ready to go. Would you rather do that middle of winter, or do you want to do that in the fall before they lose leaves?
Here.
Okay, will you tell me when?
November's fine.
Okay.
If you want. It doesn't matter to me that much
Sounds good.
if we want to tag together.
Thank you. Anything else on item 6?
Do you do a motion and second on that? No. Do they usually
Do you guys have to do a motion on that for the date, setting the date and the time?
Do we?
Also motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
thank you. All in favor of holding the spring planting May 2nd, 10 a.m. at Lions Park?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, item number 7, discussion approval of September 13th planting. So Rob, how many trees did we end up?
I had it pulled up and it went away. I think the last time I saw it was 46.
Okay.
I know, I think it's Mr. Rodriguez was out there marking trees, and he said he ran into a few houses where he went there and he's like, no, there's already a bunch of trees in the right of way, or
Right.
there were brand new trees planted in the yard. And he's
Yeah.
like, we can't, I could put 2 here, but when those start coming over, it's just gonna make it for a poor
Yeah.
canopy, so.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up. Come on, technology.
Yeah, so thanks Janet and Jay for helping with the canvassing.
Oh,
It worked. And Deb and Rob and Mike.
are we going to be doing something like that again in the future? Or is that just specifically to target that area and?
Well, I think it depends on if they still have the program.
Mhm.
Because it would be great if we could do that in each of the wards.
Right.
know.
The reason I ask is that I'd like to see us approach it slightly differently than we did.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought it was just too vague, and we didn't have, I think we should have had flyers for everybody, not just,
Yeah,
Right.
that was,
this is
that
the
was
thing, and
awkward.
yeah.
it was awkward. I like the being in Spanish and English, that's important.
Yeah.
But I had another thought about it, that, the flyer itself, I think I mentioned this to you.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
concerned when you hand these people this, and you're there saying, I'm not trying to sell you anything.
Right.
Yet, the only thing that's on this flyer is something about open lands, this, that, and that.
Right.
And I just think for the people that didn't either understand or weren't ready to commit,
Yeah.
they might have thought, there was nothing about the city of Harvard on this whole flyer.
Yep.
And that they thought it might have been some way of a landscaping company kind of getting
Yes,
their
I got
foot
that,
in
I got
the
that
door.
reaction. I
Yeah.
got the
You know.
reaction like the guys going around selling the solar panels.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I just felt like it was a little bit, just didn't explain ourselves well, and it should have been tied more closely to the city.
Okay, yeah.
so we had, after he did his selections, we have 40 trees.
Is
And
this
that
Trees
includes the
Forever?
library?
This is Trees Forever. No, this is
No.
Open Lands. Through
This
Citizens
is-
Climate Lobby.
Yeah, this is another.
That's for-
This is at Lions Park again, right?
No.
This starts at Lions Park and spreads throughout
Yeah.
that ward.
So I think we ended up with 10 at the library.
Yes.
And then 30 at
40.
individual residents.
Yeah.
And this is happening this Saturday.
Yes, yes. This is the one that the Citizens Climate Lobby from Crystal Lake wanted to do. And,
As
yeah,
I understand it, they're coming out to actually
help.
do the
Yeah, they're
planting,
providing,
and
help.
along with the residents that's
Residents, yes, yes.
elected to
And-
have a
and
tree.
Julie's already been out marking places because my neighbor across the street, I recruited him and he wanted a tree and they've already gone out there and marked everything.
And I guess the question that I have, and I guess I didn't ask Mr. Rodriguez when he was out, is when he stopped and did the assessment, did he talk to you about, like, hey, this is where I want to put the tree, this is the time we're going to do it, anything like that?
No, nobody said anything to me. I just happened to see my neighbor's water valve and lines painted. So, and I know that's
Yeah,
kind of in
we-
the area where he wanted his tree.
We were out
So,
locating, so.
I figured that's what, but I haven't had anybody, because then we would have asked, do we have an idea of what kind of flowering tree we're going to be getting? I mean, where we want our trees is pretty straightforward. It's not in the way of anything. Well, you're very familiar with that little open spot by my backyard.
Yes.
You spent some time there.
Lisa, I know we talked previously briefly about needing the conference room Friday, the 12th. I'm going to be out
I don't
Friday and
think
Saturday
so.
at LGMC, so I can line up someone else to set
I
everything
don't think
up.
they're doing that.
They're
are
not
they?
doing the training event?
I haven't heard anything about it, yeah.
Because
I think-
Linda said that they were going to do
Trees that we
a
went
training
around
for the
and
tree
canvassed the
keepers,
area.
and I think they were talking about
But
either
I think
using
they
the
were-
library or the,
Yeah, or doing it online
Okay.
even, yeah.
Oh, okay. So no, you won't need a physical location for
No.
that? Okay.
So just to be clear, the residents where all these trees are going are well aware and are prepared for this event on Saturday.
so,
Define that.
the,
I haven't heard anything from them.
I don't know.
I was under the impression that when they were going around and doing the site visits, they were going to reconfirm this, and
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like they did.
And we're home. I work from the house.
When I was,
We're always home. There's somebody always home at my place, and nobody came by.
But wasn't, I mean.
They had to sign up and
Right.
agree to that
Yeah.
date.
Yeah,
And
And-
the people that I talked to, that I signed up pretty much everyone I talked to, and I made it clear, and
Yeah.
they were putting it on their calendars and their phones.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, yeah,
but yeah, as far as follow-up, I don't know if any.
okay.
I did not follow up with any of the residents.
Was Open Land supposed to do that?
Oh, they were, because they were doing the site visits, I
Right.
thought that was part of
Okay.
it.
that's who Mr.
Yeah.
They put in an
Rodriguez is?
email address probably?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they would have had an
Yes.
email.
So
They
they
had-
probably are getting a
There was an
confirmation
Okay.
email.
Okay.
And their cell phones as well, too, so they could maybe
Did
be
we
getting
put in
texts.
an email address for the 10 that are on public lands? So it's,
I did not.
okay.
Oh, no, Karen at harvarddiggins.org. So, but,
Okay.
Mr. Wolf, did you get any confirmation emails or follow-up?
Well, I thought I saw that Jay's tree had been kicked off because of the number of trees he already had, when I looked at the list.
He might have, because I don't see his name on here at all.
Yeah,
So rejected, yeah.
You didn't get a call.
You tried to leverage your position on this board and
One-
it just didn't work for you.
1003 Garfield Road was rejected, 800 Lincoln Street, 604 Old Orchard, and 508 Old Orchard.
So the list that we have here is the list of trees.
That's not this,
That's
this is a completely different event from
Okay.
And so
that,
the
yeah.
reason we got booted?
The reason that you got booted has a lot of trees in front.
Yeah, but this is the side of the house.
I have, on the planting location, it says side of residence and parkway, that you want a tree with flowers, and the reason that you were cut out was that it says, has a lot of trees in front.
Okay, but we don't have a lot of trees on the side.
So on that note, is there an expectation of the board to participate in this on Saturday?
The expectation, yes, the board is supposed to participate in volunteering. There's supposed to be a volunteer per tree. I know the library was supposed to come up, she said, and then Open Lands is supposed to be bringing people,
right, and Citizens
as
Climate
well as
Lobby.
Citizens Climate
Yeah.
Lobby. So there should be plenty of hands.
But we
And then
don't
we'll also
directly
have-
have to coordinate this. Open Lands is coordinating
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
this?
just,
Perfect.
we should pick some addresses and be there?
No, it all
Be at the
starts at the library.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
let's see here.
And I'm guessing the trees will be delivered Friday?
They put the locates in, because
Yeah.
Open Lands is supposed to take care of all this. They're
Right.
supposed to put the locates in, they're
What time
supposed
is it
to
again, Saturday?
deliver, is it 9? Oh, come on. I got so many tabs and events and 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So the Open Lands is supposed to, they did the site visit, They determined who can have the trees. They put in the locates. Public Works has done the locates. I did them, we got them on Monday. We did all the locates, and then Open Lands is supposed to be dropping off the trees, the mulch, and everything to the sites. So they're supposed to have all the tools and everything ready to go so that when basically, everybody's gonna start at the library, they're gonna divide everybody into groups, and then the idea of that half mile was that everybody should be able to walk the entire thing, help out their neighbors, and then walk back to the library, and at the end, have a little celebration.
Okay.
So. Yes, I will be there. I might have to leave a little early. I have a celebration of life in the afternoon in Capron, but I'm going to be there to get it kicked off and rolling.
They may think I have enough trees, but I'm going to be planting a tree there.
And they do have the species of trees on their updated spreadsheet. I could have told, if you didn't get cut, I could have told you what you're going to get.
Yeah, I have to say, I was kind of surprised at some of their
Choices.
tree choices.
I was looking at them too.
Like bur oak for good fall color.
If you're in
White oak would be,
Halloween-
what's that?
If you're in Halloween.
Yeah, yeah,
Drab,
white oak
scary
for good
trees.
fall color, sure. But, yeah. And then at the Cindersons, I was surprised that they picked all big trees, because there's a power line on one side, but.
So, did I miss it? Who on the board, who's going to be there?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I have LGMC, so.
I think I might be there. I don't know. I think at least I can be there for the start of it, so. But
I'll be there.
I think there,
Weather
Yeah.
permitting.
one might have a tournament, so I gotta check. I can't keep track of the schedule.
No,
Anything else
Yes.
on the 13th?
I think that's it. So, September 13th, 9:30 a.m. at the library. Open Lands and the Citizens Client Lobby will be up there looking for volunteers, and also all the residents should be up there as well, so that way we can
Yeah.
get out there and do that. I'm gonna have to I feel like I at least have to call the people that were rejected to let them know
Yeah, if they weren't notified.
I'm kind of surprised that they weren't notified.
Yeah, because Lisa checked the thing on her phone today
Yeah.
before me coming here, and she said, well, can you speak to somebody to find out what kind of tree we're supposed to be getting?
Mhm.
And I go, well, I might know somebody.
Yeah, right?
And so, yeah, we got nothing.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, no, 6 total. Because it was 46 when I put in the library trees, and then after he went through. And the only reason I even knew he was here was because he had a question about the library trees, and then he got a flat tire.
Oh,
And so we put air in his tire to let him get to the quick loop. I don't know why.
and did they end up adding the species of trees for the library? Because last I looked at the list, there
No,
weren't.
there's no species list.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, item number 8, discussion approval of Trees Forever tree replacement grant.
All right, so I did receive word this week. Eric Notes from Trees Forever has been telling me for weeks, if not maybe over a month, that we were on the list for the removal grant, but he didn't know where we stood on it. He told us Monday that we did get the tree removal grant, so that is where they're going to give us $20,000 or $25,000 for removal of hazard trees. On the spread, or on the agenda supplement, those locations are listed. So all the locations are listed, and the reason that there was a takedown, or a reason there was a need for a takedown, is there as well. So the next step in this is that they're going to treat this sort of like a, kind of like a replanting grant, or almost like a Mary's Park, or like the Lions. They kind of want a volunteer event. You know, I was thinking it was just giving us trees to put in place of the trees we took down, but they're looking for, you know, public engagement. So this is one of those where I have this basically when I submitted for the grant, I said, we'll replace a tree in kind near the location that this one was removed, to try to keep it so that way we took a tree down, we're going to put, you know, either it's going to be in that yard or an adjacent yard. That way we have a tree for tree. So we got that. So now we just have to establish what day we want to have the planting, and what, you know, I can take care of the map, I already have that done, and I can get the quotes if the committee could help with date and time for the event, and then which species, right tree, right place at each location. This one, I believe this one had to be done by the end of the year, so fall planting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this could be our October planting.
And
These 19 addresses, is that the?
yes,
There's only 4 on here that aren't under wires.
there's a lot of these that were,
That's why they need to, part of why they need to come out.
yeah, they're part of why they needed to come down, and technical. So this would be, when I submitted for the grant, it was the, you know, I planned on putting a lot of underwire trees in place, because, you know, some of these locations, there's really no other place to put the tree. So if we select an underwire tree, something that'll be, you know, low end, we can still keep the trees in the city, and then, you know, continue forward.
Oh my God, yeah, they're almost all wire trees.
Coordinating this is going to be, I mean, these addresses, I'm assuming, are kind of,
They're spread out. If you look at the map, they're kind of all over the place. We can, you know, and it could be something, you know, this is similar to Mary's Park or Lions Park, where Public Works can go through, we can do all the spots, get everything ready, and then the day of, you know, show up, drop a tree in a hole, next one, drop a tree in a hole, next one.
can we get a bus or
19.
We get a
party bus with a keg in the back or something?
Yeah. That'd be a way to get volunteers.
Yes, you would get a lot more volunteers.
Yes.
Well, there's some dates in October that we shouldn't pick, and the one is the 18th, correct? That's our Day of the Dead celebration?
Right.
Mhm. Is there any Halloween festivities going on the 25th?
There's a trunk or treat, but I don't, you want to see, that's the chamber event, but we're working with them on that.
Did we want to do it that late? End of October?
Well, I think for the comfort of the people
Probably
volunteering.
better to try
In
and
the
do
beginning.
target like the 11th.
What time's Day of the Dead start?
That
Is
starts
that
at
an
1.
afternoon thing?
Yeah, but it's, we set
Little
up pretty
tight.
much all day.
Oh, okay.
And then we require Public Works crew for that, so
Oh, those guys, yeah.
those guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're gonna need to target either the 4th or the 11th. The 4th might be too soon.
I'm not available the 4th.
I'm
Not that
available the morning of the 11th, not the afternoon, but
So yeah, the grant, so on this, it says, one of the terms of the tree planting partnership agreement for this says spend all grant dollars on landscape-sized trees per the application within this year.
Starts pushing the
Oh.
envelope of even being able to do it.
yeah.
Be able
Well,
to-
tree availability and just getting volunteers that are willing to go
Yeah.
out in the weather.
Right.
Can we reach out to the high school for the credits, you know, when the kids do
Oh,
community
like
service
community
work?
service day?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
Tap into that so they can get some credit, get some free volunteers.
Do you have contacts over there?
Yeah, I can make some calls. Just once we figure out a time and date.
Sounds like October 11th.
We start at, what, 9?
Is that,
Sure.
Does it take about 4 hours?
19 trees. I mean, realistically, Public Works will have everything pre-prepped. You know, we'll do that a few days before. I would imagine 4 hours.
So 9 to 1.
I might suggest making teams for this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so, because you're gonna spread out all over.
Yeah,
so-
like divide the quantities into, regions or
Mhm.
areas and say, okay, this team A is gonna do 4 trees and team B, at specific addresses. That way you're telling people to meet at a specific place,
Sure.
wherever that team, quote unquote, team leader is gonna.
Well, what I'd recommend is have everyone meet, say, City Hall, and then just
Yeah.
go to your
Do it that way,
designated
Yeah.
place.
yeah.
That way everybody get.
Divide everybody
Yeah.
up,
Yep.
team A, team B,
Yep.
and then go to your designated list of trees.
Yeah.
That'll work good.
So I'd recommend October 11th.
I'm out of town, I know. Not around.
And where are these trees coming from?
This one is the one where we have to get 2 different quotes.
October
To-
11th, 9 a.m.
To determine what's there. And this was kind of, I went back and forth with Open Lands on this, Trees Forever on this one, because I told them, I was like, I don't know because they wanted species. I'm like, I don't know what's available.
Yeah.
You know,
Some nurseries might not have the same.
so I told them, I left it open-ended, and that was the way I applied for it, was I said, based upon the most expensive tree from Gertis's list, it was like $200 for a ginkgo. And so I just threw it out there and I said, we're going to request 19 times $200 to try to cover the cost of the most expensive tree. And they covered it.
Can we get the 2 quotes in time?
I think we can get the 2 quotes in time. And just, the one thing that I'd really like help with is if I can get help with species selection at the sites and determining like, hey, where is this at? Because if I have the species selection, or like, hey, we would say one of these 2, and then that way I can just get quotes, and then I can say, here's where we're at, and I can throw it at Open Lands as we try to wrap up construction projects and stuff. That would definitely help us out.
Well, it looks
Oh,
like
tree forever.
15 have to be under wire trees, right? So,
You could keep it relatively, so we could do that, but the other option is just keep it sort of simple and do so if there's 15 under wires, do 5 crab apples, 5 Cornelian cherry dogwoods, and 5 Japanese tree lilacs. Or, just 5, 5, 5 of the under wires, and then do, if it's 4 that aren't under wires, do 4 ginkgos. Keep it
oh, yeah.
simple for yourself, and
Okay.
Yeah, because it's spread out all over the
Right,
community.
so-
It's not like they're all next to you.
this isn't 100 trees,
Right.
Yeah.
where you need to worry about species diversity,
Yeah,
It's
That's
just-
fine. Because then I can get the prices on that. I can see what they have available. And if it's one of those things where it's not going to be possible, I can say, all right, well, how many Cornelian cherry dogwoods do you have? You give me 10. And then we'll keep
Yeah.
it like that.
I think the crab and the service bear will be on that list, the easiest ones to find.
The tree species of service berry.
The under wire trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, and the tree lilacs are probably readily, your probably the most easily to find are some form of crabapple, a serviceberry, and tree lilac. And if you need two quotes, nurseries are most likely to have
Right.
15 of those.
Yeah, and I can just throw it out there and say, tell me price availability for each of these species.
Yeah.
Looking to fill out, 15 trees.
And I love the idea of just saying, okay, we're going to plant 4 ginkgos.
Yeah.
We don't have ginkgos. So
Right.
that'd be great.
Yeah, and the ginkgo was the most
And
expensive
they're going to be
tree.
all over the place, so.
I got expensive taste.
But how great is that? So it's going to be the 4 trees that came down that don't have wires were all Norway maples, and replacing those with ginkgos.
Seems
That's awesome.
about right.
So the grant requires 2 quotes, and then we just pick the lowest? Or they have
It's-
to approve it?
They have to approve it. And I'll put the locates in so that way we can do it somewhere, some of these it might not be exact, tree for tree. I think where we had the 2 ash trees, in the, let's see here,
Dunlap?
3-4, yeah, where the 2 ash trees, the driveway actually comes around the ash trees, and they're in like the horseshoe by the driveway, and it's like,
Oh.
one of the reasons I selected this for the tree removal grant was I looked at it, I looked at the house, and I looked at the cars, and I looked at the house, and I'm like, we'll pay to have this done.
Yeah.
So, and that one, the side yard, if I remember right, had, appropriate space, or it'd be like one of those where we just go to the neighbor's house,
Oh,
hey, we're
yeah.
taking your neighbor's trees down, they really don't have a good spot,
Yeah.
we're
gonna
trying to
put it
keep-
here.
reforest the areas we're removing.
Yeah. That
If
sounds
only
good.
this was available when we did the ash removal.
Sounds great. Any other questions? Okay. And then we're shooting for morning of October 11th.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
That's the same weekend of our event last year.
Was it the second week in October?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. Yeah. Okay, item 9, discussion, approval, maintenance of food forest. So, had been approached by a couple folks who are wondering about our plans for maintenance at the food forest that we put in the spring. Some concerns about the weeds, and what our plan is for those. And I know we've been keeping them watered, so most of them have survived. We've lost a few, I think. But then, as Shawn mentioned, we had talked about having a class or something to do some pruning as an instruction for folks in the community who are interested in learning about pruning. And so
So the
Nice crop of
volunteer,
sunflowers
yeah,
there
where
right
did
now.
they come
Beautiful,
from?
beautiful sunflowers.
Yeah.
They have a gradient on them. They're fantastic. Yeah.
yeah, the
and-
volunteer we had lined up to do that went back to work full-time, so I think there's been, watering's been taken care of, but there's been some time restraints on the actual weeding, so we probably
Okay.
should look elsewhere for
Okay, yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's, just finding volunteers to do that it's
Right.
difficult. And we've had a really bad year for weeds.
Yes. If there
Oh,
was
true.
a,
Just
a gap,
Yeah.
a crevice, I
Yes.
think Joel and I
Yeah.
talked about it yesterday,
yeah.
if there was a crack in anything,
It's
the
insane.
best weed possible
Yeah.
popped up.
Oh, yeah. And the giant ragweed is like
Mm-hmm.
on steroids. Okay, so, well, one of the folks who reached out to me about helping one of my neighbors who think she's involved with the garden club, and said, you just need to ask. You need to give us some instructions and ask if we can help with it. And she said, I think some folks will help
Who
with
would that
the
be,
weeding.
Lisa?
That would be Sue Smith.
Okay, but,
Is she part of the garden
yeah,
club?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and we've been in touch. She's very concerned about the weeds, I know.
Yes,
And the
yes.
way it looks, but she also knows that we've been having problems just getting enough people to help maintain the gardens that we're
Right,
trying to do right now.
The pollinator gardens, yeah.
And so all you have to do is ask. It's like, I've felt that way at the beginning of the season too. Yeah, the garden club, we would love to
Yeah,
partner with you on this,
Right.
but it was me,
right,
basically.
right, yeah,
And,
yeah. So, and then were you copied on that email about the guy who was asking if he could help us with some of the maintenance out there, if he could get a reduction on his water bill?
Oh, yes. There is a resident that lives nearby, was seeking to do a barter system. Of course, that's not within my authority to
Yeah.
approve, but I said, you should
Creative.
reach out to
Yeah,
his alderperson and discuss it. So, I believe he's in Ward 1. So,
I think so,
yeah.
yeah. I want to say O'Brien or Hayes,
Yeah, somewhere
Yeah.
over there, I think.
yeah.
Near the park.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
So he recognized the overgrowth and said, hey, maybe if you're willing to, barter some water bill to pay for that. The problem is, I think there's legality issues for that because the water billing is a proprietary system.
Enterprise
It's
fund.
not
Right.
taxpayers. So,
right,
I think that becomes a no-go.
right, yeah, it didn't
It's not
sound.
a bad idea, though.
No, no,
There's
No.
a different flip to it, though. If you could find the cash to pay somebody, so you wouldn't reduce your water bill, you'd get paid.
Yeah, that's a totally different
Yeah.
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 That would be the type of,
construct, right?
Yeah.
So,
but if you could secure funds from somewhere, volunteer funds or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I guess you have employment issues, right? Or
well, technically, they would become a seasonal employee
Yeah.
or
Right.
something along
With
those
all the-
lines, right?
hiring and everything
Mhm.
else
So
that has to happen with that.
Yeah, then it becomes, is the city going to hire them? And
Well,
it becomes complicated.
It does, and it raises a bigger issue, because I know when we were first doing this, Stacy was really excited about it and was talking about seeking another grant to put in fruit trees there as well. And then she left. And we had talked about, through the parks programming of having, classes related to the food forest. And she seemed really excited about that, and even seemed to know somebody that she was thinking of for tree care. I don't know.
I think
So-
anytime
Should
you
this be
try to
kicked
rely
over-
on volunteers, though, you run into the issues of time commitments.
Right.
Not
Well,
everybody's showing up, work, different
the
things.
issue
However,
of ensuring that
right.
it's going to be done consistently.
However, we are going into winter now. We're also going into budget season, and we could look at possibly having a quote done. So every year we pay a landscaping service to do Air Street maintenance on all of our vegetation down there, as well as around City Hall, and the wastewater plant. At one point, they also worked on the pool. However, we pulled a lot of that out just to,
Yeah.
reduce some of that maintenance. I could ask them when they do their quote, or when we get our quotes this season, to just run by there, take a look at it. Maybe they'll throw it in, for a little extra, something possibly that we could find in the budget to cover, and then they
Okay.
just do it with their rounds. They usually hit around here about once a month.
Okay.
And if you've noticed, even once a month, they weren't keeping up with everything because it was just growing so
Yeah.
fast. But they do
Yeah.
a really nice job. It's just that, so maybe we could add that.
Yeah.
And just see how much more that would change things and what
Okay.
we've got going on. Then we would be guaranteed that we would have a service that, was contracted to do it. And
Right.
would show up and take care of it.
Are we mostly talking about the lower portion there where all the elderberries are planted, or are we talking about up beyond two?
I went and took a look at the site a couple days ago, and, it's the lower area, like the
Yeah.
apple grove just kind of
Where
looks
all
like the apple
sunflowers
grove.
are?
But definitely, in the areas where the new stuff was planted, the weeds have just tried to take over. And that's up at the top too, where we fenced off. It's really nice, and there, you can see
Yeah.
the trees in there trying to do their thing. But it just needs to be, ripped out and torn up, remulched.
Well, part of it, I think, was just, our approach this time. We were just kind of in a hurry to get that all in, and nothing was really a prepared area.
Right,
We just
right.
dug holes in the existing ground,
Right.
and then in the spring, everything else
Right. Grew
came up
through the
around it
mulch,
like
yeah.
it was going to anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just, and I don't even know if we spent time figuring the space in between all those elderberries. Is it enough for a mower to go through? Maybe they can't even get the mowers in between
We
them.
did plan on, if you go up there, you can see between stuff. The park staff has been mowing, the paths, but as far as where the mulch was,
Yeah,
the park staff has been so busy we haven't had a lull in the growing season
I
this year, so.
understand that, yeah.
I can add this about the elderberry. Old growth generates no new fruit. So every year, once the elderberry browns a little bit, you mow the whole things down. You mow them down to the flat earth. You don't want any holdover growth from the year prior, because
The whole
those
tree?
of the elderberry, those will suck resources and will generate no fruit. So every year you knock them down. And trust me, they come back really strong, because mine are over 30 feet tall right now. They're trees.
Well, it may be something to think about.
Yeah. And what are the other ones that are, they're the elderberry and then,
Elderberry, serviceberry,
Is
aronia?
I can donate.
Yeah.
Chokeberry?
oh, the
Chokecherry.
aronia, is that the one that's down in the front?
Did any fruit this year?
I thought they were all elderberries, no?
No, I can tell you that the apples are fantastic again this year.
Oh, are they?
I don't think everything was so small from the food forest that really, I don't think anything fruited. But apples, when I did the inspection, there was the apple break.
Just bring some
Did we-
home.
Wasn't that many.
Did we want to have an event there this November? Or do we want to wait?
I think having a pruning event, we're gonna do the planting this weekend, the other planting in October. I think that would set you up for one event a month
Yeah.
without taxing your volunteer base. And I think maybe, doing the pruning event could be a park program or an invitation out there. We still do need to have I'm still working with Debi for the final product of the tree inventory and management plan. So there our representative is in the tail stages of that, wrapping it up. Part of that grant was public education and outreach and a public meeting. So we already have prepaid to Debi for a meeting like that. So maybe we can tie that in there and say, hey, we're going to have an event, we're going to meet at the library, we're going to educate you about the diversity of the trees in a little bit, and then after that, we're going to go outside and prune.
Kills two birds with one stone.
Well, another idea, though, is with this idea of maintaining momentum, is that's actually another event
Mhm.
that just keeps push, it's
Yeah.
almost like marketing, right? Like
Yeah.
we're saying the trees are an important focus in our town.
Yeah.
Um,
We're a tree
and,
city.
and that's more of a public forum type event, to learn about the inventory and, I don't know. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just throwing something out there. I guess it depends what they say.
And it depends on the direction of this board. I was just throwing it out there as
it's a great
an opportunity
idea.
that we have, but if you want to have two separate events, they will have to, part of the grant is that they have to do a public meeting. So if we want to do that as part of a council meeting or as part of a special tree board meeting, that's up to this body.
Or part of this November,
Or, yeah.
some
Yeah.
dormant pruning,
Yeah.
fruit tree pruning event.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are all great ideas.
All right? Well,
Yeah.
what's your, to quote the mayor, what's your flavor?
Well, I think you have to probably get more information from David.
Yeah, we have a little bit of
what
time on
they're-
that.
What
But,
they're doing.
Is that the direction, to see if we can do a pruning and education event?
I think that knowing the mess that those apple trees are in, like, I would probably suggest 2 events.
Okay.
Because I think that volunteers aren't going to want to be around for, I think that 3 to 5 hour range is the amount of time that volunteers want to be around,
Sure.
and that's how long it'll probably take to
Yeah.
clean up those trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some prep work for getting the food forest ready for 2026 can be part of that.
Mhm.
Where bring some weed whips and stuff and add some beds back and knock the weeds back a little bit. And
So 2 events in November?
no, just one event in November. Talk with Debi with when to schedule a community
Okay.
outreach,
when they
rollout,
want to do that.
present the inventory, give give the public chance to.
Because, that can be hour and a half or
So this is
whatever.
this is one event in November that's not pruning. It's
It is
education.
pruning.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
both
No, the pruning's gonna be its own event.
in November.
Yes.
When's the Davy education event?
I'll talk to them and see when they're ready with the plan. Could be October, or November. It'll see what they want to do or what they want to present.
And
So
that-
when are you
that
gonna
could
set
be an
these
evening.
dates?
I mean, that
Because
could
we
be an
don't
evening
need-
during the week.
Right.
So we need to set
Right.
dates.
Maybe that's part of a tree board meeting.
To have the Davy
Actually, the
education.
tree board,
Yeah,
we could use the education
Yeah.
and information that
Well,
was
we should
gained
have
from the
yeah,
Yeah.
from the inventory.
try to generate some interest for the public if they're interested in finding out about it, but then at least
Sure.
the tree board is educated on it.
Would,
I recommend that because it would be recorded, and then
Yeah.
if someone wanted to go back to at least listen to it, they could hear it. And if there's a presentation, we can add that to the packet so that they could go through it while the presentation is going on.
So you would do a tree board meeting in November,
We could, November
that.
5th.
and then a pruning event on a weekend in November.
I'd say the next Saturday after might be nice,
The 8th.
that they're so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if any public does attend on the 5th,
Yeah.
maybe we can get them to come out on the 8th to
Yeah.
prune fruit trees.
and I'll reach out to
Pruning-
Davy.
So would the pruning happen in the morning, just thinking in terms of one of the big events in our community is the Harvard Education
Oh, yeah.
Foundation's
That's on
Black
the
and Gold Ball will happen, I believe it's the 8th. So, that's in the evening, but a lot of people go
Yeah.
get ready
Mm-hmm.
and
What about the 15th?
things.
That might be better for volunteers.
Sounds good.
Yes, we do have certain preordained.
Well, that's a big,
Days. It is.
It's a big event for the
It
community.
is.
and
Yes, it is.
So November 15th?
Yeah.
Pruning event on the 15th, and I will talk to Davy about getting out here for the community education leg of their requirement on the 5th.
So that to be determined.
Correct.
So that would be a special tree board meeting then you would do that?
Well, the tree boards says.
It'd be an agenda.
The bylaws or whatever say you meet quarterly, right?
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
doesn't say that you could You can
That we
meet
have
more
to
often.
only meet
You just have to
quarterly.
meet quarterly.
Sure,
Yeah.
right, of course.
So it could be a regular meeting.
Do
Yeah.
we think we would have a date by city council and then you could set it then? Because I'm thinking of trying to get advertisement to
Yeah.
get, to let public know as
Yeah.
well.
Right. So,
So you don't want to set it for the 5th now? You
well,
wanna wait and see-
tentatively pending Davy
All right,
being available,
Yeah,
right?
set it for the 5th, and then hopefully they can confirm that.
Yep.
Once they do,
Yeah.
then I think we could
We just go
start
ahead.
advertising.
If not, then we'll,
Yeah, and I think, he's finalizing questions, we're into the tail end of it, he's sending me questions like, what's your tree budget? How much do you think it would cost to remove each of these trees? And how much do you think it costs you to do this per tree? And, what's the overall goals, aside from what the board sent him as far
Yeah.
as, these are our priority lists.
right.
So the 5th would be a regular tree board meeting with the pruning instruction, or,
No, pruning would be a separate event on the 15th.
right, but the instruction
Um,
is on
It's
the
either action
5th,
or agenda.
like where people can come and then we're all.
Well,
planned
on the 5th, it'll be the recap, and correct me if I'm wrong, it'll be the recap from the tree inventory where they're gonna talk about, the needs, the wants, what they discovered, and it'll be a notification that there's gonna be a pruning event on the 15th, but I think that the class and the
It's not-
participation on the 15th will be sort of all that
Oh,
day.
it's all class on that day.
Right.
Okay.
And on the 5th, it's really Davy presenting.
Correct,
And sharing that information with
the tree
the
board.
public
Yeah.
and the tree board and any members of the public who wish to join us.
Is there an access, like, where the public would have access to the inventory?
I don't think yet. I have the link, I can pass it out, but I think right now, I'm sure I could pass the link out to anybody, but I really feel like before we release that to the public, we should probably have the plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should be informed on it first, but after the
Yeah.
rollout, it would be nice if they could.
Will that be added to our GIS?
Yes. Technically, it is on the GIS right now. It's just a different layer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a layer of its own.
Yeah, it's already on our stuff.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Anything else on food force maintenance? Okay. Item number 10, mayor's report.
I'll actually do it under new business. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I have nothing to
Nothing to
report.
report, okay.
Well, that was short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Item 11, new business.
I have a bunch of trees in my backyard.
But you were taking care of those for like 10 years.
They are, they're great. Where are they going and when?
That is up to this committee.
Fostering's turned into adoption.
Yeah.
I thought the fostering was
It
supposed,
turns into Shannon's garden is what it turns into.
my understanding was that fostering was going to be for this whole year, and then in the spring.
Oh, is that spring?
We would
I thought it was a
distribute
fall
the
event,
trees,
but-
but
And what
this-
kind of
that's
trees
just
are
what I
they?
thought I heard.
There are redbud
Yep.
and river birch and sycamore and
Potted?
I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, 5-gallon containers now? 1 gallon?
Some are, well, everything's been, some have been moved to 5 gallon, like, yes, there's been a
Yeah.
transplant. Nothing's in little 1 gallons anymore. Everything is at least one size up.
Is it okay to plant these at this late in the year?
Well, because they're container, they could,
Okay.
yes, you have basically the whole root systems in the pot. So they're very plantable. I don't have any huge concerns with overwintering them. I'd probably just mulch them in, other than there's animals along the back of my property, so I'd be concerned that bunnies or something would chew them to the ground, but the animals haven't messed with them yet, but
How many are there?
Like 20, yeah, 20, I was gonna say 25, but yeah,
I
40.
don't know. I don't,
I think, well, because it was, I
could
think,
put some in my morning room, but that's probably more than I could fit.
I think it was 2 deliveries It's somewhere between 30 and 40.
30 sounds right.
Yeah. It might have been 2 deliveries of 15.
Because they're smaller plants, they're not taking up a,
Well, I know the
Huge
garden
space.
club is hoping to get a red bud for the railroad garden, but we thought we had to wait until spring for that, but if you,
because of the nature of these trees, you wouldn't have to be a spring dig because there's no dig. It's just,
if you want,
just-
you
yeah,
know,
you can take the red buds.
we can do it now.
These are little red buds. So
Mm-hmm.
based off of what you're saying, I would take all of them, just mass plant them.
Together, like in one clump?
Probably slightly scattered, but they can be close together and come up together. They're,
We don't want them to take over a space, but we just,
right now, they're,
okay.
thumb,
Okay, so plant
they're-
3 and hope one lives.
well, or plant them in a cluster and have a multi-stem.
So,
have a
and
multi-stem
keep
tree.
them trimmed like a bush or something, more than a,
Yeah, they'll be a little bit
Tree.
lower branched and yes,
yeah, I had a red bud like that once.
a multi-stem, yeah.
I think the only reason that we kind of put them into the foster home for now is if we plan on planting these in public spaces, I don't want to
A little
sound,
bit bigger than.
yeah, I don't want to sound negative. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two, and these would get stomped out, if they were,
Oh, these aren't parkway, these would be a park,
yeah.
a park natural area.
What about,
The railroad garden, there's a,
what about,
right,
so,
on Air Street, and we've got a kind of a dead spot where we
Mhm.
had to take down a kind of a tree bush thing that was there, and we thought that a red bud would be nice in that spot, but
I can throw this out. How many river birch were there? There's quite a few.
Yeah, I actually think that was the greatest quantity, probably 10.
The dog park, if they're fenced off, and get established there. We can fence them off with a small, wooden fence or something that's a little bit more substantial, and then we can let them grow there, because the dog park really lacks shade other than the pavilion.
Yes, it does.
The sycamores would probably
Quite a few.
do pretty good over there too. It's a little bit windswept there though. I think the birches and the sycamore could both have problem with the wind at the dog park.
Very windy.
Anything has to be pretty tough.
Yeah, what would you plant out there with the wind?
Yeah. Nothing, and if,
Well, everything that's out there is taking pretty good though, like the oaks.
I think they
now that
thicken
they're
up with that,
established,
yeah.
The maples, all the previous plantings, I don't know what the losses were,
Right.
but being out there, the tree, I was running out there the other day and I'm like, hey, these are, yeah, there's still a lot to do, but
Mhm.
boy, the things that have been done are starting to
Yeah.
do something. It's starting to look nice, so. But like you say, the dog part needs more, so it's probably more just,
What about along the path on Northfield? Because a lot of that path on Northfield it's just a path through the field.
Don't they play games and stuff over there?
Well, yeah, on the north end they do, but I think there's,
Like closer to the path,
yeah, closer to the path where you kind
to
of,
make it like a canopy.
yeah, canopy over the path.
Mhm.
Just some thoughts.
I don't know what Northfield is.
Northfield Park,
Oh, at the park.
yeah.
Yeah, the park.
Sure.
Just some thoughts.
Maybe cage them?
If they're
Yeah.
protected and,
I feel like there was a
Yeah.
if there was
picture, like,
burlap used to cage them, then you can get winter protection too.
Okay.
Is even on a windswept spot, if there was something, snow fencing or something put up around it, it could protect it enough from the wind to wherever it's planted. That would be cool. Yeah.
Snow.
Back at the dog park. It's witch hazel. Witch hazel is the
Oh.
other one that's in there.
Okay. Oh, cool.
yeah, get something going. And these, at a dog park, that's perfect, right? Like, there's no expectations with the fact that it's a little tree. It's not, the dog park, no one's gonna care. I'm just, it'd be nice if they survive too.
So this was kind of the idea of, having a small area that had, kind of trees on either side of the walking path at Northfield. This was all part of the park's master plan.
These trees would work well for naturalization for some of them. There's like witch hazel. Some of these trees would work well for that type of a project too.
Yeah, and river birch are nice.
River birch would
Yeah.
do that nicely.
Anyways,
And
it just,
the witch hazel would do that nicely.
What if we, once the construction's complete at Lions Park, did the same sort of thing there?
could do, yeah.
Because
Oh,
we,
And that would look really well there.
yeah, we just have to make sure we keep them away from the sledding area.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
Maybe in the top side of the hill, the north side of the hill.
But it would be, yeah, especially over towards like maybe the
Senior Center.
senior
Center.
center, because
In between the
you
parking
have
lot and the path.
a shaded area where, the path is kind of in a wooded area.
In between the parking lot and the path would be, we have
Yeah.
like 20 feet, and that would be a decent little divider between the parking lot and the path with, somewhere to put a couple picnic benches.
Yeah. That would be
And I would feel a little bit better about the chances of vandalism up at the senior center. I feel like Northfield would be an invitation. I hate to do it. I hate to bring it back to that, but I don't want to see our efforts go wasted.
Yeah, I mean, at Northfield, you'd have to protect them. I mean, you'd have to cage them or something.
Yeah.
Till they're
especially
big
that-
enough.
It's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can wish for all we want, but
I mean, it's not even, somebody being malicious. There's,
Somebody's stepping on it.
exactly. It's just, there's a lot of kids playing and
Mhm.
running and throwing
Bunnies would be
things
an
and-
issue
Yes,
at any,
yes,
these plants are small enough and these are bunny bait.
yeah.
A lot of these plants are things that rabbits like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a healthy rabbit population in Harvard.
Yeah.
yeah, even though they're protected, the eastern, bobtailed rabbit is technically their name that we see. They're protected in everything, and they're very protected.
Okay.
We didn't really come to.
So do you want to keep those till spring then? Or do you want us to?
Yeah, do we want to table this to spring and I figure out a way to winterize them? I could use more 5-gallon.
We can get you whatever you need.
Janet will take some of the,
I will
You'll take the
take
red
those
buds.
red buds.
So we'll unload the red buds.
Yeah, give me your
Yeah.
address after the meeting and I'll come get them.
Yeah.
Because we've got 2 work dates specifically for planting
I'll show you
and
some of
moving
the other
stuff.
plants too.
What?
I'll show you like the witch hazel. I'll show you everything and then you can see if there's anything,
Okay.
any of the other understory, sort of shrubby, ornamental type plants.
Well, I don't want to hog too many trees.
We can,
Backyard.
we can probably get a few, probably outside Lions Park, over by the senior center and the dog park, and then if we select a few out at Northfield, we can try to get those in before winter, so that way you have less to take care of.
Well, that'd be enough. These are like, the projects you just listed, that would take all of them.
Yeah.
So they could be gone. Or we can, if we wanted to target maybe the river birches and the sycamores for the dog park,
Mhm.
heal them in for the winter, get them protected, then plant those in the spring. They're a little bit bigger,
Sure.
and then they'll have a better chance. Then they'll have all summer to grow out there before the winter
Okay.
of next year, and then those trees will have a better chance of.
So you said
Survival.
the river birch and the sycamore, we'll hold on to those?
I'll hold on to those.
Okay.
The witch hazel and the red buds we'll find homes for.
Okay,
And these are not huge plants, so.
okay.
That'll be cool to have it at the park.
Yeah.
Because they've been asking for a long time.
Long-term, I think they would be good selections to, you're talking about the west side of the dog park,
Mhm.
probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, it's our stuff.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're adjourned.